guys, welcome back. So today's video is, I know I kind of hate myself for doing this, but it's an Instagram baddie makeup toot. I don't know, I just really like Instagram baddies. I saw a 17-year-old baddie today and I was like, I honestly don't know what these teenagers on Instagram are doing these days. It's like they're skipping the whole awkward phase and it's unfair because my awkward phase was very awkward. I just really like Instagram style makeup, you know, like a really fierce wing liner, some crazy intense lashes, and like that neutral nude kind of lip. It's just what I live for. This is basically just makeup that's going to look really bomb in photos on Instagram, especially the liner. It just really makes the photo and it just like picks up so nicely. Because if you guys have ever tried to take a photo of like natural makeup, it just turns out like shit. Looks like shithole and you're like, wow, I suck. But it's just, I don't know, heavier makeup picks up a lot nicer on camera. So that's what this video is. If you want your makeup to pick up on camera for your Instagram, then this is the toot for you. I'm super into full coverage, so this is basically the kind of makeup that I do all the time. So for those of you who already follow me and have subscribed to my channel, you would know this is just on the regular. If you guys want to see how I created this makeup look, then definitely stay tuned. And subscribe if you haven't already, like this video, and I will see you guys in my next one. So we're starting off with our base today. First taking the Tarte Maracuja oil, and I'm just going to press that into my skin. I feel like it just really helps to wake my face up in the morning and just make it look really luminous and just alive, because I feel like I wake up looking like a corpse sometimes. And then I'm going in with the Tarte Brighter Days moisturizer. You guys would know I'm obsessed with this. If you've followed me for a little while, you would have seen it in a ton of tutorials. It's just really pretty and illuminating, and I really like using it underneath my foundation, especially when I'm going to skip a primer, which is what I did today. I don't really find primers do too much. It's more just a barrier, so it's kind of like if I remember to do it, I'll use one. Then I'm going in with my Benefit Erase Paste on my Sigma F03 brush, and I'm just going to lightly apply this underneath my eyes. This is a peach corrector, so what this is going to do is brighten up under the eyes and help color correct those dark circles. That way, when we go in with foundation and concealer later on, the blueness of the dark circles won't peek back through. I'm then taking my Tarte Rainforest of the Sea foundation. If you guys have followed me for a little while, you would know this is one of my absolute favorites. It photographs so beautifully and it just looks really flawless on the skin, which is definitely what we want for this tutorial. I'm going to leave my first impression that I did on this foundation linked in the description box for you guys in case you want to check out the wear test and just get a feel for the foundation. But then I'm moving on to concealer. This time we're actually concealing rather than color correcting, and I'm using the oh my god, I always go to say Tarte instead of Tarte. The Tarte Shape Tape Concealer in the shade Light Medium. This is really similar to my skin tone, so we're not using this to highlight. This is simply just to correct those dark circles. And you guys see me just blending that out with my Sigma 3D HD Blender Sponge. It all comes back to you. I'm then going in with the iconic London Cream Contour Kit, and I'm taking the lightest shade on my Sigma E62 brush, and I'm going to start highlighting my face. So these are the points that we want to bring forward, like the features that we want to really stand out in photos. And this is going to really make your selfies pop. And then I'm taking the middle contour shade. It's the lightest one in the palette and it's got a really beautiful warm undertone, and I'm just using that to contour and kind of recede the parts of my face that I want to look a little bit more chiseled. I personally prefer a warmer colored contour just because I feel like it looks the most natural on my skin type, because I do fake tan, so my skin has a really warm undertone, and I just feel like I like the bronzed sort of look a little bit better than like a shadowy kind of highlight. I mean contour, what am I saying? Then I'm going in with my Sigma F04 brush, and I'm just lightly blending out those contoured areas. I'm just doing this to kind of get them out of the way, sort of just like lightly blend them, because I do go in with my Sigma sponge, as you guys will see here, and I just start blending the highlighted areas. The reason I'm doing this is just because I like them to kind of mesh together a little bit more. So by going in with the contour shade first and leaving it slightly unblended, I kind of have a bit of room to play around and kind of mesh them together. You guys can see I'm going back in with the brush now and just kind of diffusing everything. So yeah, I'm just trying to make it look as airbrushed
as possible. For my nose contour, I'm using my Sigma E56 brush. It's just a really thin concealer type of brush, and then just going back in with that sponge and blending everything out. Then I went in with my Laura Mercier Secret Brightening Powder, and I'm baking underneath the eyes. I don't always do this, but if I really want my under eye highlight to stand out nicely in photos, I will. And then I'm just doing the same thing with my translucent powder from Laura Mercier and just baking underneath my contour. And I'm then just going in with a fluffy brush with the tiniest little bit of translucent powder on there, just dusting away the bake underneath my eyes because I don't like to leave it for too long. And then I'm just lightly setting the rest of my face and then dusting away the contoured, chiseled, what is this called, bake. I don't even know what I'm saying. Then moving on to the brows so we can start doing our eyes. I like to do my brows first because I feel like it really helps just get the shape nice, and then I can go in with my eyeshadow. But I'm basically just doing soap brows today. This is essentially just getting a wet spoolie, getting a bit of soap and running it through your brow hairs. And what it does is kind of fakes the illusion that they're really hairy and thick when they're not. It's an awesome trick. I definitely recommend trying it out, although I would use a translucent soap. I don't have one, but use a translucent one. It will make your life a lot easier. Then I'm going in with my Anastasia Dip Brow in the shade Blonde, basically just drawing in some little hair-like strokes and then lining the top and bottom of my brows with my Sigma E65 brush. And then I'm just going to go in with some concealer on a flat little concealer type of brush and use this to clean up underneath my brows. This is going to help with any little mistakes that you've made, as well as make them look super on fleek for photos. Trust me, this will make them look 1,000 times more on fleek in the photos. But then moving on to the eyeshadow, as I already had a bit of concealer on my lids, I'm just going in and setting it with the shade Tempera from the Anastasia Beverly Hills Modern Renaissance palette. And then we're taking the shade Burnt Orange on the Sigma E40 brush and just going to start blending this into the crease of the eye. I feel like Instagram baddie looks are just like a ton of like really smoked out, beautiful sort of neutral shades, so just pick like an orangey brown or just any kind of brown that you guys like and just go crazy. Really easy. I'm just blending that into the crease, a little bit onto the lid, and then taking my Sigma E57 brush and I'm just going to pack that onto the lower lash line, and then take a fluffy brush and blend that out. And that is literally it for the eyeshadow. Really simple. Then I'm just taking some tape. This tape was actually sent to me by Tarte. I know you guys always ask me where to get it and I really don't know, so just Google like rainbow unicorn tape or something and I'm sure something will come up. But basically I'm just taking the tape because I want to do some wing liner and I can never get my wings perfectly straight, so this is going to help me. I'd probably do this before the eyeshadow, but I just didn't think about it. So yeah, I just applied the tape and then I'm going in with my Kat Von D tattoo liner and just doing a really intense wing. I feel like Instagram baddies always have a really sick wing. I know I always do a winged liner when I want like my Instagram photos to look really cool. I just feel like it automatically kind of gives it an edge. And I then just went in with the New Bouncem Bella lashes off camera. You guys can use the code Kasey Rayton to get 20% off any lashes that you guys want to pick up. Definitely recommend them. They're really pretty and all the lash styles are just really fluttery. They look awesome in photos. Then I'm moving back onto the face and just finishing everything off with the Alexis Ren and Colourpop collaboration. I'm using the bronzer from the palette and I'm just going to warm up my face a little bit more. You guys know I'm obsessed. I always do a bronzer helmet, so can't do a tutorial without one. Then I'm going in and highlighting with the MAC Extra Dimension Skin Finish in the shade Double Gleam. One of my favorite highlights of all time. Looks really awesome in photos and it just picks up really beautifully. So I'm just going to highlight the high points of my face. I'm pretty much drowning my face in this because if you want an Instagram baddie look, you really have to make that highlight pop. And this is one of those highlights that looks just as good in person as it does in photos. Then I'm going in with this MAC lip scrub because I have really dry lips, so I'm basically just trying to get all of the dead skin off before I go in with my lip liner and my lipstick. Then I'm just applying this MAC, what is this called? It's a lip primer. I don't really know if they do anything, but it feels nice, so I use it. And then I am lining my lips. I can't remember the name of this lip liner, but it's basically just like a nude kind of shade. Any sort of nude lip liner will do. And then once I have kind of overdrawn my lips and everything, I'm going to finish them off with the shade Velvet Teddy from MAC. Such an Instagram baddie shade. I just feel like Velvet Teddy is like such a beautiful shade. When I first got it, I wasn't really into it, and I have just seriously grown to love it ever since. So yes, definitely an Instagram baddie approved shade. Then I'm just finishing off this entire look with the Kat Von D setting spray. Seriously, the best setting spray I've ever used, and that is literally it for this tutorial. All I did after that was just go and straighten my mop on top of my head, and that's it. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys in my next video.